What's going on, people? It's your boy Eric here this week with um, personal struggles while transitioning. Um, Everybody's struggle is different, everybody's transition is different, everybody is different, point blank, at the end of the day. So, sometimes people can relate to struggles, other times people can't. Doesn't mean that anybody struggled less or more than anybody else. It's really not a competition at all. Um, Saying that, when I first started transitioning, I went into it with the mindset that people are not all gonna accept this. This is gonna be a shock for a lot of people, especially at 30 years old when I transitioned. Um, so I already had that mindset. I went into it kind of knowing it, and I have to say the last almost 2 years, almost just about, has actually been pretty decent people wise. I've never really gotten any negative backlash or anything discriminatory per se. I have had a few incidents of almost being outed at work, which kind of scared me and I kind of struggled with, because I don't feel like it was necessarily everybody's right to know everything. If I chose to tell you, that's fine, but I don't feel like someone going around outing somebody, especially in the workplace, where I knew certain individuals didn't accept it, was kind of scary. But for the most part, I try to stay as patient as I could during my transition. I think my mindset had a lot to do with that, because I see things and I definitely get pissed off when I see certain things that other people are harassed or struggle with. And it's not that I'm pissed off with them, I'm pissed off with the situation, because they should never be treated like that. It should never come down to somebody's happiness being questioned or being shamed in any way or being badmouthed. Everybody, I feel like, should have the right to be happy at the end of the day, honestly. But one thing that kind of took me by surprise that I struggled with was, like, I knew outside people weren't gonna accept it, and I knew my family wasn't gonna accept it, but in the beginning of my transition, when everything was fairly new, and it was kind of step by step per se, I did have a little bit of a struggle with my mom, or my parents as a whole, kind of. My mom took the news pretty hard, and she's a very accepting person. She's very loving, don't get me wrong. I love my mom to the fullest. She's so awesome. Like, I wish everybody could have a mom like I have, for real. But in the beginning, it's a transition for me, it was a transition for her, so it was taking that time to just kind of step back and reevaluate everything and let everything kind of sink in. So the beginning of my transition, me and my mom's relationship was really rocky. We kind of butted heads a lot, but we sat down, we had a discussion, a very open dialogue, with me, my girlfriend, my dad, and my mom, and to try to kind of bring the whole situation as a whole together. I think that definitely helped. Being open and having a dialogue about things that bother you, especially inside your family. And I understand that as trans guys, we are very open. We try to be open, but our families might not. And I have to say that it does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Everybody accepts things differently on their own terms. We can't rush anybody to accept things. You know what I mean? So they have to learn that on their own. It does take time, but it is possible. Now, after a year and almost 7 months on T and top surgery, my name change, all these certain steps that I went through, my mom can finally see that I'm happy. Like, I'm really happy, and she is super, super supportive now. It changed everything. I think once my parents or my family saw that I was actually happy, I'm pursuing life a lot more. I'm a lot more outgoing. I'm a lot more loving. Sorry, I had a little technical issue. Back to what I was saying. I think once my family saw how genuinely happy I was, it changed a lot for them. I can't speak on my family's behalf, not at all, but this is what I've definitely have seen. My mom is so happy for me, so proud now. Like, she is proud to call me her son, like, completely. Not saying that she was never proud of me before. Don't get me wrong. I do not want to put that perception out there. My mom has always been loving and supporting. We have had our rocky times, but I think that has to do with anybody's family on a certain level. But my mom is awesome, like, really awesome. My dad, in the beginning of my transition, he said he would respect it. I don't think he quite wrapped his head around it. I still don't, a little bit. It's a work in progress. Me and my dad are very close. I was always following his footsteps when it came to, like, working on cars, all that fun stuff. So he respected it in the beginning. He also said that, infamous famous line, "You will always be my daughter," which, it still kind of stings. But I know that he's kind of working on it. He's working on his pronouns. He slips up every once in a while, I guess. I have seen him try, which to me, that's all I ask for. Just effort. Just effort. That makes a whole lot difference for a lot of people. Just the effort to see them try to see you happy and respect you is very key. I think very key. Like, I didn't know how my grandmother was gonna take it, and my grandmother is my heart, my soul. And she's been awesome, like, really, really awesome. And I'm blessed to have such a accepting, loving family, and have had my transition go as well as it has. But that doesn't mean that I haven't had my own personal struggles and whatnot and everything else. In relation to that, even after top surgery, I fell into a really bad depression, and I didn't expect it. I came into it really, really positive. So that was a huge struggle for me to kind of knock it out of my system. I'm still working on it, still trying to get out there and do more things and be more open. But it is a struggle. It's not easy as much as we would like it to be, and as much as others kind of perceive it as, oh, it's so simple. It's really not that simple. There's so many things that go into it. Worrying about your health, worrying about if your levels are right, are a struggle sometimes. I've done tons of blood work recently because my levels have been too high. I first started off on a 0.4 cc, got knocked down to 0.35, and now have recently been knocked down to 0.3 because my levels are still way too high, and I don't want my levels that high. I'm not too sure what's going on. All my other blood work is coming back fine, and I don't have a problem with them lowering my dose, not at all. I understand that people have different testosterone and estrogen levels. Everybody does in their body. So if I have to take less, I take less. I actually get more out of my month's supply, which is kind of nice, and it's less that I have to inject. So I try to look at the positive things. I don't mind getting knocked down, but just the struggle of my blood work being off is kind of like, it's aggravating, because I can feel it kind of physically and mentally, truthfully. Like, I've really thought about it, and I've noticed that my energy level hasn't been as high. It's like I have bursts of energy. I can work long shifts at work and everything else, but then when I come home, I'm white, like completely white. And like mentally, I'm gonna be really, really honest with you guys, because I haven't really told anybody about this, but it has been something that has happened recently that I have noticed. Become a little bit more emotional, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it's really good to be in touch with your emotions and know how to interpret them and react to them, and vice versa. Because that's when a situation arises, the way you react, I feel, is the main thing of it, truthfully. But recently, even watching TV shows, I've noticed myself getting a little teary-eyed, a little sentimental. Watching other guys' videos, I get sentimental. Watching other guys' top surgeries reveals, I get sentimental and emotional. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I was extremely, extremely emotional and cried a lot before my transition, and I just don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So hopefully my levels could be back to normal soon. I can start feeling normal, which is a struggle too, because working out, like, I've been somewhat consistent since I started working out, but my energy level is just shot, and it really sucks. My sleep patterns are all off too, which still has to do from surgery, because I've been kind of struggling with my sleep patterns since surgery, since you have all this time to do nothing. But hopefully things will get back to normal soon. Just know, any guys out there, that if you guys are struggling with anything, just know that there will be an end. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like things will ever end or things will ever smooth out or anything like that, but I can actually say that they will. I can't say when, can't say how. Eventually things will just kind of fall into place, as long as you're staying positive, setting goals, especially with your transition. I know we all want facial hair, we all want to see these changes, but it takes time and it takes patience to let all these things kind of play. I'm so far into my transition, I still have a long way to go. It's not like I could just be like, okay, I could just stop at this point. Like, I'm gonna be on testosterone for the rest of my life, so my body will always be changing no matter what. That's the way I look at it. I've seen trans guys that are further along on 5, 6, 7 years, their bodies are still changing, so that should tell us that our bodies will still change. And if you're pre-T, don't worry about it. Like, if you're happy being pre-T, then be happy being pre-T. I understand that there are struggles that come along with that, but as long as you're aware of them and can react the right way and being positive, and more power to you, truthfully. You should be able to be comfortable in your own skin no matter what you choose. Nothing necessarily makes a trans man. Hormones, surgeries, all that doesn't necessarily make a man at the end of the day. We are all men, no matter what. And we should be seen at that. We should also respect each other too. Key. But I gotta get ready for work. Once again, always working. But I will check you guys next week for next week's topic. Thank you for watching. Check out the other guys on the channel. Sorry for the little glitch in the middle of my video. But yeah, see you guys.